Hey folks, welcome back to the Active Duty Rancher at Meadow Oaks Ranch. We've got a nice 4-day weekend here, so we're gonna do with the time we've got, and well, I've got Ryan here with myself. We're gonna finally build the ranch gate for the entrance coming into the ranch. We're approximately a 20-foot opening here. I've got it marked out, size enough for 3 telephone poles, and Ryan will put a picture after this kind of showing what we're looking at. But we're gonna show you how we take this and turn it into this over here. So we've already erected one side. This is what both sides will look like. They're kind of steeped up. We haven't cut it off the total length, but we're gonna have a 14-foot high opening by 20-foot wide gap. So we're gonna replicate this over here, and we're gonna take you through the whole process, and then we're gonna put our capstone on top, and that'll be it. Follow along. Alright guys, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to dig this hole, and because we're putting up, to start out with, a 30-foot telephone pole, we got to put these down at least 6 feet deep. So we're going to dig this hole down to 6 feet, we'll erect the first 30-foot pole, brace it off, and then we'll cut the other ones to length to mirror our step down over here. We'll fasten them all together, and then we'll put our Quikrete concrete, mix it all into the bottom, button it all up. We'll let it sit like this for a couple days, and then we'll put our capstone on top. Just enough time for that concrete to get hard. Looks really good until you get about 14 inches in. And it turn into sand and then clay. Yeah. The topsoil looks good though, for it being sandy. All right guys, so we just dug our trench. You can see we're down 6 feet. We've already hit lots of groundwater. It's the same thing that happened with the other hole, which will make it easy for mixing the Quikrete. We'll go in bag at a time, and we'll mix it up as they go. We're gonna go get the 30-foot pole, drag it over here, use the tractor to stand it up in the end, and it's gonna go right in that corner. We'll wedge it in there, and we'll brace it all up, and then we'll bring our other poles in that we cut to the height that is the same as over there. We'll marry them all together, brace them in, put our Quikrete in, and then we'll backfill.
swear Joe pees like 5 times a minute.
I'm super hydrated. Perfect. All right, hold up. Yeah, you're good. Yep. All right, hold it. All right, so we're gonna brace the pole now that we're within our bubble this way. We're gonna brace it off both sides, and then we'll put one brace coming as a kicker down here. I know we'll have to push it this way just a little bit to make sure we're plumb on both sides. So that's what we're about to do. All right, folks, we're on to the next portion of the project. As you can see, we have our main beams in. These are 30-foot poles. All right, so we're gonna find our height. We're trying to do a 14-foot entryway. That way we have no troubles when we contract our hay for the winter. We have big tractor trailer trucks full of round bales come in here, and they have no issues with clearance getting under our ranch gate. So how do we find 14 foot and make it even on both sides? I'm glad you asked. We have this awesome invention called a laser transit. We set up our tripod, turn the laser on, it's all level. And we will go and mark our ground level on our long pole. When we get a solid tone, that's where we know it's at. So right there, we'll take a marker, we'll mark the bottom of that pole, and we'll measure up 14 feet on this side, and we'll cut the top of that off. we'll take this same exact mark. We will not move the transit over to the other side. We'll do the exact same thing. And that bar, when we put the top bar on, it'll be completely level. Once we have those measured correctly, we'll measure down from the cut mark to our step down, and we'll mimic the exact same thing on this side. So that way they look super symmetrical, and it's almost like we planned it. So stick around and see how we do that. Whoa! All right. Not really. I think it's good right here. All right, so we're measuring for the second beam. We can kind of walk over there real quick. So we know that this mark is the constant mark that we got from our laser level for both sides. So from this mark to the top of the second step down is 9 foot 8 inches. So we bring that measurement over here and we measure down from the constant mark down it's 5 foot. So the poles will be buried 5 foot, so we need to take the 9/8 plus the 5 foot and gives us 14/8. We just marked out 14/8. We'll cut that and we'll stand that up and fasten it just like we did over here. And we'll do the exact same thing on the third post as far as measuring goes. Cut that one, put the third one in. We're gonna get some of this water out of this hole and then start mixing our concrete. Okay. Okay. Sweet. So I'll make both cuts and then we'll roll it and finish it out. Thing's still pretty sharp. This stuff is not easy to cut through with all the creosote. Push me in that bitch. Okay. Oh, on my foot. Right now. What we'll do is we'll just level it back out. And then we'll screw the backside off. We'll screw that last kicker off. All right, so we're gonna get the comment, you should have pre-mixed this concrete before you put it in the hole. What you guys didn't see is that this hole had 6 feet of water in it. I took the excavator bucket and I bucketed out about 5 feet of it. So there's about a foot of water in the bottom. As we dump these bags in, we're gonna take the shovel and we're gonna agitate it, so it's gonna get mixed up. There's plenty of water in here to activate the concrete. We won't have to worry about it. Plus the poles are super deep in the ground, so we don't have to worry about anything. So this is how ranchers do it. All right, folks, so the earlier project before all the ice storms, we finally got it completed. This is Brittany's sign for Meadow Oaks Weddings and Events. It is very large. This is big enough to put a 4x8 PVC sheet sign, so it'll easily be seen from up and down the road. 2 telephone poles. They're approximately 9 feet tall. All we have left to do is to bring this up to grade and put a nice little flower box around this and hang Brittany's sign. But this is what the finished product looks like. Looks pretty good. All right, folks, so where we're at right now in the process, we've got both sides erected and cut to height. Before we go ahead and put the top plate on, we put our hardware in. We didn't have a drill bit long enough to get through 3 poles, so we've fastened the 2 together here with a 5/8 steel rod, and then we put another rod above it, fastening it to the larger pole, so it's all tied together. This side is ready for the top. We're gonna mirror this on the other side, and once that's done, we'll show you guys how we build the cradle for the top, and then we'll put this top piece on.
Okay, so we tried a couple different ways to get this thing up and capstone this arch. However, we realized quickly that the tractor wasn't high enough and the excavator couldn't quite get there without there being some sort of weird linchpin or it rolling over. So we tried chaining it up, ended up taking that chain off. We chained the opposite end, used the excavator without a chain on it, and went very slow and ended up getting it right over the top of there. We didn't get all of it on video. Unfortunately, the drone died because it took us so long to figure this out. But we got it up there, got it secured. We ended up drilling it down with 5 different 6-inch lag bolts on each side.
Hey folks, so you saw it here. We built our homemade ranch gate coming into Meadow Oaks Ranch. This is the finished product. There is approximately 22 bags of saccharine at the base of both of these sides. We used 8-inch lag screws for the tops, a total of 5 each. And we bolted all the beams together with 3/4-inch rod. So it's nice and firm. The next thing we've got is just the finish around the base. We're gonna let the rain and everything settle, and then we'll come through and do the finish grade, put some nice little boxes around the base so it looks nice. And we'll probably cut out the Meadow Oaks Ranch brand and hang it from the top, and that'll be it. So this is what it looks like. So you guys saw it, 2 guys a super old Ford tractor and my excavator, and we were able to get this thing erect. This thing stands almost 15 feet tall. We were able to get this up all by ourselves just because we're not afraid of working hard, right? So you guys, you got to continue to work hard if you want to accomplish your dreams. Thank you guys for following. Please subscribe to the YouTube, to all our other social media platforms. It really helps with our content. It helps us generate ideas for stuff you guys want to watch. Please comment if you got anything that you think we could have done differently or any in-depth questions on how we did certain things. But thank you guys. Be blessed. Keep grinding.